Hello everyone. This video was recorded on the Ollama channel on Discord, where we held a talk about CrewAI, and seeing the interest, I finally decided to publish the video. So jump in and enjoy. The beginning of this is first to, I would say, cut your complete task into, or maybe some questions in the meanwhile if Big Al
Yeah,
needs a bit more time.
we are rolling.
We're rolling, right? Anyone questions? No? Shoots? It's the moment before we start? Nope. Okay then.
That guy
So,
just made it.
All good.
yeah, the roll. You had the rolls, no? You can do the drum roll for him. Excellent.
Oh, that was just me smacking my desk.
I heard that. That was not like the normal sound part. Yeah, that's it. So, yeah, that one. That was the one I was looking for. Okay. Yeah. Enough. So I'm gonna basically attach this agent op handler. That's what I just showed the site. You don't need to do that each time, so you can remove this when your system is working. You don't need the insights, but in this case, I will just leave it open. This is the way you configure an LLM. So you basically have classes. This is Langchains, so that's one of the big advantage to me, at least, of CrewAI is that completely using Langchain. So you can use the tools of Langchain, the prompt templates of Langchain. You can configure all the LLMs available on the Langchain, and that's a freaking collection already, right? So you already can attach a lot of either online LLMs or LLMs locally. You got the Hugging Face Hub, you got the Hugging Face inference things, you got, of course, the Ollama part, and so on and so on. So the choices are very wide and open, and because LangChain allows 30 LLMs, I would say, all of a sudden, CrewAI supports 30 LLMs, right? You just have to change this one and load the chat model. Make sure there are generation model and chat models. Make sure you load the chat model. Once you do that, so for Ollama, the only thing I have to say is what my model name. It will use the default URL, but you can also use parameters to do the base URL as you would like, right? And also it's like kind of close up to the API. So the keep alive, that's the time that you want to keep the model in memory. The number of tokens in the context, the number of tokens to predict. So these are all things you can specify at the initialization of the LLM. And in this case, the thing we're gonna do is put the agent handler callback so that agent ops gets everything it needs and can send the messages to the agent ops dashboard. This one was a little sample just to test my LLM, right? Was just like a just simple prompt. We've seen that in the tree of toads. We make a chain, and basically that's what CrewAI is gonna do for each of its agents. And for each of its agents, he's gonna compose a prompt, which is made of the backstory or the role, I would say. The backstory. Bad. Come on. The role. Why is he doing that? The backstory. The goals or goal. And the tools. I'll come back to this later, but just as a reference. So basically, CrewAI is like a template that say you are blah blah blah. Oh, you are a. Then the backstory is just explained like this, and then it's something like your role is to. That's so fucking annoying. Sorry for that. You are. Your goal is using the tools, right? That's it's a bit a pseudo prompt because it's a bit along than that, but that's how it mainly make. So I'm not gonna start this over. Then we will define the tasks actually. What should we do to get this live video list of topics to cover, and we will see in depth what we actually expect from the model. So I want an agent, not yet defined which one. I want an agent to do a comprehensive research on each of topic already on my channel and gather information on recent news, trends, and research papers about the channel topic, right? Identify the possible gaps and the new directions for the content in the future. So I will give it the topics, I will give it the subject of my channel. The idea is I could run an AI channel or a sport channel or whatever, right? And the topics could be stored in a JSON file and is the list of the previous videos we've done to avoid that it just in 1 week or two starts to repeat subject number one, which we already covered one time before. What do I expect from this agent? So from this task, sorry, that's the input basically, and what do I expect from the output? The output is a detailed report summarizing the new topics and directions to consider for new content relevant to the channel subject. Okay. I don't want my tasks to be executed asynchronously currently. We're going to do that as a sequential thing, but you could have tasks executed in an asynchronous manner when there is no output from the previous step to forward to the next one as an input, right? Then you can run the things in parallel up to there. So once we have done the research, then we want to create an outline. So now we basically know what the topics are. So analyze the current industry trends, change and opportunities relevant to the channel subject. Consider research paper, reports, recent developments, and expert opinions to provide a comprehensive overview of the new topic, the one that he made on the previous step, right? For my channel about AI, sports, or whatever. Identify major trends, potential changes, and future advancements. What do we expect from this task? What we're gonna do is a new topic defined by the before, and we're gonna define still the subject of the channel. If I want to talk about the subject is energy, but in AI it's not the same as in manufacturing, right? So depending on my channel subject, the new topic can be interpreted differently. So that's why I want to repeat both in this step again. What I expect as output from this task is an insightful and engaging outline for a content for my channel. So I don't want him to make the full script totally. I just want him to say, well, first you should do an intro and talk about the history of AI. Then you should do another part talking about this part, then that, and as conclusion we will do this. But it's just titles and bullet points at this point, right? So channel output of a subject that identifies major trends, potential challenges, and future advancement about new topic. I think that the Tree of Toads book we've done was already kind of like insightful on that, but be as most as specific or be as extended as possible about what you expect from these will be used to the LLM as like messages, not system messages, but in the prompt to tell this is what we know about what you need to do, and this is what you expect. If you say here like, well, something about, that's not gonna work, or that's not gonna give the results you want, right? So even though we have specified here that he should analyze and so on, here I could say, provide me a list of takeaways. That's a small bullet list with 5 lines, that's it. If I say an insightful and engaging outline for the content of my new channel, identifying, and I remind him to think about the trends, the potential, the challenges, and so on. So I remind him that that is what I'm expecting. I'm not just expecting a narrative. I'm not just expecting a list of items like, yeah, you could talk about this, you could talk about that. No, no. I'm expecting that he looks up the information required for really these elements, because that's what could be interesting in a news, what's new in AI channel. If you really want to do something about history, this list will totally change, right? Does that make sense for everyone, or did I lose the half of the audience?
No,
Like
amen,
silent.
100%. Sorry for
It's like,
being muted still there, but hell yes, you with you 1000%.
okay. It's just I feel so lonely for an interactive thing.
I apologize for that. I will keep myself
No,
off
no,
mute.
no problem. Just, but I just want to know if everybody fell asleep or if it makes all sense and is clear. And yeah, that's it. Just every now and then need of an approval, right?
I tell you what. Oh wait, there's someone's recording, so let me not do that. Never mind.
Well, no, you can. I mean, that's the goal. It should be interactive. Otherwise, I record myself in front of a webcam and I put the videos on YouTube in a one-way direction. That's not the goal. I feel now like sterilized by the fact that there is no input. You see what I mean?
You're
It's just
good
like
and it's all very interesting. I just don't want to interrupt.
I can talk against my walls and that will make the same effect, you know? So,
Yeah,
yeah.
no.
Okay.
Sensei, your students are eagerly watching. We with
Oh,
you. Continue, please.
students, don't call that teaching. I'm not teaching. I'm explaining what I've seen and what I've discovered on others people's video and so on. So really, I'm not gonna take credit for any teaching in this, right? And I could do things wrong. And if people are more knowledgeable than me on some points, please provide the feedback. I will be happy to learn from it. So next
Anyone
step.
listening in the recording, that was just a joke.
No, totally not. It's no joke. I mean, I could do, and I probably do things wrong, and I probably are pretty safe of myself that I know this one, but it might be totally true. So I'm open to any suggestion, or you should do it like this or like that. No problem, guys. So back to topic.
Back to the topic.
We have an outline that has been created at this task, and so now the next task is, well, as we've said, we have already given a list of previous topics. What I find annoying when I write my cookbook or whatever content blog post, or if I wrote something about that like last week or 2 months ago in this particular post or this particular part of my cookbook, which is now like 30, 50 pages, I know there is somewhere something talking about this topic. But fuck, where? I don't want to search that out, right? So this is now the cross-reference content task. So we're gonna give to our agent the new topic, the new outline we were talking about, and the old topics, and so the subject of the channel. This at this point this might be an overkill, right? We could just remove it because we have the topics, the old topics, and the new outline. So the channel that is support of AI should be clear in the rest. Otherwise, you have another problem, right? So
Should be.
yeah, it should be clear at this point, right? So up. Let's remove that shit. But the idea here is, given a new topic, dying neurons, backpropagation, the ReLU function, whatever, look at the outline here. What do I specify over what do I speak in this outline? Oh, we will present backpropagation and then 10 activation functions. That's planned for this video. But I would like to know if maybe I've made another video older than that that talks about that. And I could also add the posts or whatever, right? Just to make cross references. Cross references are just ugly to do, and your content will win so much on SEO optimization if you make cross links in your own site. From older articles to newer to older. So that will do that. What do I expect from this? It's a list of cross references and connections between the new topics, right? So that might be a bullet point and so on. And that result, I can't maybe give it to another LLM in a separate task. Like we have identified in bullet points, titles of videos and parts of the narrative in this, in the outline of this video. And then at the very end, when the script is totally written and so on, I could have another task, add cross references, create cross references. And based on the bullet points and the totally written script, he will then not make just a bullet list, but integrate at the places where needed the references to the links. and maybe it's cross-references, so it could also edit the older blog post and tell in the other blog post, we made a video about this, by the way. Of course, it's retroactive, but you cannot forespell, right? The next part is the script writing task. So we have our outline, we have cross-references to earlier videos. Now I will have a task that will basically create the total outline of the script writing of the script. So develop a detailed script based on the provided outline. Ensure the script is engaging, informative, and aligns with the overall tone and style of the channel, analyzed by the previous topics, right, earlier. Incorporate any relevant research, findings, and expert opinions to add depth and credibility. We give the outline that was given before, and maybe we could here provide the topics. Or the new topic.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Ideally, you put the title before you do. Now, like, I will rinse and repeat some hints here, but if you expect the thing to format it in Markdown, use Markdown. There's a big chance that if you format already what you're telling here as being Markdown, that the model will conclude, yes, that what you're expecting as output might be a Markdown notation, right?
Okay. Good to know.
If you expect JSON, make it a JSON object, right?
Mm.
And tell at the end of the object, so here you can say topics, or what is it, new topic, outline. What do I expect? A complete published script. But this one doesn't align, but you get the point. If I say this here as an example of what he should integrate as info, and here I do output as JSON, he already knows what key value pairs I'm expecting. I mean, the sample was done before. If I write this in Markdown and then I ask for JSON, he will try to make something out, the key value pairs and how the object should be structured. But if you provide not a sample, but the other information of the context and so on in JSON, you already make him think about JSON before you even instructed it to do, right?
Yeah, with you.
So, next point, the channel subject, for example. Because here we are expecting a complete script and so on, so I suppose, hope that he will use some Markdown to do it. But again, I can say, use the Markdown format. Right? So, next to that, we have that, but at some point I will have to make the video, and I will have to integrate not only my sexy voice and a screen share or whatever, but if it's a YouTube channel, also some graphics, some artwork, right? So the graphics and the artwork here will be the visual assets task. So identify and create visual assets required for the video based on the script. This includes image, graphics, charts, and any other visual element that will enhance the storytelling and provide clear, engaging content for viewers. I have to admit I didn't do a lot of prompt engineering on this. This can be refined like 10 times. These are really quickly generated descriptions of what the task at hand is. The goal was not to show perfect prompt engineering and the perfect task, but how the framework works, right? So channel subject again. What do I expect as output? A collection of prompts to create visual assets. I didn't want to mix image generation in our thing, so the output of this is get me prompts I can get to another tool, to something else to generate images. There will be talks about any image generation. Lower I show how to create a custom tool. So if you combine both, if you assisted both sessions, you combine both and you create the best of other worlds. I will not do all the work for you, right? Otherwise, tomorrow there are 25 new channels about AI with those AI bots creating better videos than I could do. No way. So step by step, I create just a collection of the prompts, so you at least need to copy paste them in some things before you can do my work, right? So, including images, graphics, chart, and other visual ready to be incorporated into the video process. That's not correct because it's prompt, but okay, we'll see where we get. Create, then it's nice. You have your video, you have the visual output to do it. Again, we're gonna not make the video of each part. You got the script, you got the visual parts. You only have to speak it out or even use text-to-speech or whatever, but you only have to record the video now. The text is already written. You got a couple of images and graphs to integrate. The next thing to do is promote your video. So we're gonna have a task of creating a Twitter post and we're gonna have a task of creating a LinkedIn post. At the difference that create an engaging Twitter post, he understands and know that this should not be a 2-page long text, right? Post to promote the newly published video. The post should include a compelling description, relevant hashtags, and a link to the video. Ready to publish Twitter post that includes an engaging description, relevant hashtags, link to video. That's what I am expecting, right? Again, this could be more detailed. Don't use this word or use this word or that style or whatever. If you can say in the beginning about your channel, I just say subject. But
Sebastian,
subject could be, yeah.
not only that, I think we're probably, if we're going to go that route, we probably also need something for a Selenium tie-in to get to where we're really happy with results.
What was that?
I was thinking about this morning. This is Rez.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
probably also need to tie in Selenium to this if we really want to be happy with results for specificity.
Selenium? The
Say
web automation framework? Selenium?
yes.
Selenium. At this point, I don't understand yet why, right? But,
You'll see it soon enough. But what I'm saying is I think you're going in the right direction. I just kind of stumbled in here. But
okay.
you probably want to tie in at least like another thing like Selenium to this.
I think you're talking about the query search, the web search, right? But we don't do any web search as a website as such. We just use the Wikipedia API and the Arxiv API. So it's really already made no key search things. But I will show how to create a tool and you can do whatever you want. These are now the end. Here we are defining all the tasks that we will perform. And so yeah, we will create the overall crew will create new topics and videos for a to come YouTube channel, right? And so there are tasks defined: conduct the research, analyze the current stuff, blah blah blah, create the cross references with previous videos and posts, then develop a script out of it, so the narrative of the thing. Then we have create the prompts. Of course, we could forward that to image generation, but I want to keep the scope like short. And I said I don't want to pre-bake all the work because otherwise tomorrow we have 25 new channels about AI and I don't have anything to do anymore. So I'm not gonna give an end solution. You at
You will
least need to
always
copy
have
paste.
people following you.
Fair enough.
You will only have to copy paste the
All right.
process
Well, the one you and I have in the end is
prompt.
going to be a little different then.
Yeah, that's it. But not only that, we are 20 so or 10 or whatever, so they will all use the notebook and go ahead with their own channel. So you at the end,
Apologies.
this is the step where you jumped in, but I just asked him to create the text. I will not have it to post to Twitter and not have it to post to LinkedIn. Again, it's just to show how an agentic framework will use different LLMs and different agents with different personas to crisscross the messages like they would be in a Discord discussed together. We need to create a new post for the channel. What it's gonna be? Oh, let me look on Wikipedia what this means. Let me search for research papers, and then that one will call the colleague or send a DM to the colleague and say, well, we got this research now. Make an outline of it. Then okay, the guy with that has knowledge about all the previous videos will look, oh, that's what you want to talk about. Well, 2 weeks ago we had a video about that, and a month ago you also published something on your blog post about activation function. Let's refer to both. Let's refer to the video of last week, and as a link we could add that there is something on the cookbook talking about it, right? And at the very end we produce the promotion work So you now have the text to read, you have the cross-references, you have the prompts to generate images, artwork, diagrams, whatever on yourself, but you have the prompts to do it. And then you have two text, one for Twitter with hashtags, a link to the video and something close and limited. And then the second one, that's the one we were arriving, is creating and engaging LinkedIn post, to promote the newly published video. The post should include a professional description, relevant hashtags, a link to the video. Consider the LinkedIn audience and tailor the content to suit the professional network. Again, if it's a Twitch channel about video games, you probably don't want that to be on LinkedIn and very serious or professional. And here you could then say engaging for a gamers community, right? So that was all about tasks. Is there any question? Nope.
Absolutely.
All loud and clear.
I'm following.
It's a really nice, clear, easy framework to understand.
Yeah, I mean, this is now creating just the tasks, and that's an object. Agent, task, and crews are all objects from Langchain, right? That I imported here, right? So, not from Langchain, sorry, from CrewAI. On Langchain, we have the part of the Ollama. This is not really needed, but we picked up the Ollama chat model handler from Langchain. That's it. For the rest, it's agent, task, crew. And it's very easy to, I mean, you can save this in a JSON file, you can save this in YAML format, whatever, and instantiate by a factory yourself these things coming out of a database, a JSON, or whatever, to create the tasks at hand, the list of tasks. You can have another LLM generate a JSON with the task and the output that he expects to planify a whole crew work, right? This is easy to instantiate and re-instantiate as you wish. So, one of the things we will do, so we told about you need to go to the research papers and so on and so on. So one of the things we need to do now is define tools. How will that fucking shit go to internet? And of course we could open totally a browser, but we are giving them too much latitude. I don't want him to search everywhere on internet. I don't want the 5 first results of a Google or whatever, DuckDuckGo, the API. No, I want him to search research papers because I want academic information about the cutting edge stuff and not some bullshitting marketing stuff that would match the keywords that I've typed. And I also want the second source. The second source is Wikipedia. We have the advantage that CrewAI has a whole bunch set of tools, and the whole bunch set is far from. So it's not. Sorry, we're falling back on Langchain. So we have the advantage that Langchain has a fucking group of tools. And here you see I'm using the Wikipedia one, but you got Google Finance, you got Wolfram Alpha, you got YouTube, Tavila Search, Stack Exchange. There are for GitHub, there are for getting your Git commits on your disk. There are for Memorize is a GPT alike, so things to store data. You got the Hugging Face Hub tools. You can get data sets from it. You can have a lot of course, some of these, no, sorry, of course, most of these will require an API key to record your data on your behalf, right? So let us be clear about that. There are not a lot that are keyless. Wikipedia is, Archive is. The reason why I showed this, and in our case, they are mainly important. But there are, as you can see, a whole shit full dump or just tools. On the underside, Langchain allows also to build drags and so on. So you got retrievers, and in the retrievers, you got an whole bullshit of retrievers for retrieving documents and building rags. That will be other discussion. And then in vector stores, you also have. So Langchain is really the glue that make all these products work together in a scenario, in a solution. It has made an abstraction on what is a vector store, an abstraction on what is a retriever, tools, and so on, and then implemented tons of providers or tools behind it. And so now you have like a gluing framework to make your apps with it. For me, this is really one of the best ecosystems. Llama Index is very similar. And to the end of these products, at the pace of everything's going, what is the most important is the community behind it and the speed at which they implement new things, they fix bugs and so on. If you have a cool product but that's abandoned by its community and that don't get updates and so on and so on, this will die in 2-3 months or be less efficient in 2-3 months. And I think Langchain is like the most adopted around, right? And if you guys know other ones still proposed, but as said, most of the content you will find around are about these guys, Langchain mainly, LLM Index also, but a little bit more specialized to the RAG thing, while now Langchain tries to also extend to a lot of other things, the embeddings. I mean, yeah, it's really a large thing, right? Any questions to here? No?
Just happy to be here.
Okay, great. That's a good point. So I will go with the easy one. We have a lot of tools as said. So I go to Langchain tools and I pick up the tool I want, right? Nothing difficult about that. There is no key in this case, so I just open the Wikipedia API wrapper, top K results, so give me the 5 best results of your query, and that's my tool is there. And just for the sake of the demonstration, I will do a query and ask for backpropagation algorithms and do the search on Wikipedia. So I already done it, but we can do it again. Do it again. Do it again. So it has searched on Wikipedia and it has returned different documents. This is based on a RAG, so it will also chunk your documents to maximum content length. So that's with the top K and the number of characters you know that's gonna come from this. Even though the Wikipedia page is 10 kilometers long, if you specify 5, and I think the chunk size is maximum 500, by default, you can change that, but by default, this means that I'm gonna have maximum 5 times 500 chars. That will fit in a context window of 4K, right? If it was not doing something smart about that, and there was a very, very big Wikipedia page, and I'm asking 5 of them, that's not gonna fit in my context window, and I'm gonna have problems in executing that on Ollama, for instance, or depending on my model, of course. But yeah, you don't need to fetch entire pages and check every bit and byte of the page to check that effectively this name is in the domain of AI to do some fact checking. You don't need that, right? You already have enough with the abstract in the beginning. Like we did in the Tree of Toads, you can add an additional step here and just get the pages on Wikipedia. Rank me, the second query to the LLM, rank them to indicate what is the most relevant and not relevant to the subject, right? So you could eliminate results that had come out of the Wikipedia filter and then use another one with 1 and a max size of 5,000. And then you feed that one because it's the most relevant you got, right? But we will give us a bit of chance. Like, this could be interesting, but a little bit lower. We got Geoffrey Hinton, summary. Geoffrey Hinton, blah, blah, is a British Canadian computer analyst. So, that's kind of interesting. I can put that in my video that this guy has done the first works in neural networks and so on. And then this is about the phenomenon and the way neural networks work, basically, and that is more like a historical thing, but without real names about who has done what, right? So 5 results from Wikipedia, 5 different style of information, right? So it's very interesting. Even if you really want a very technically detailed channel, you put this on 10, or you do this multiple times, and like in the Tree of Toads, you eliminate the content you are not interested in. You take only the takeaways and then the important names, and you do future research, right? This is just a simple sample, but you can turn this in very complex thing. And I already say that the subdivide, divide and conquer your task, and don't expect to give one big prompt to your LLM, like do the research, do this, do this, do this in one system prompt, and have and have it produce the best blog post there is in the world in one shot. That's not gonna work. Each time
Yeah.
you do inference, it needs some information, but it needs some iterations. If each time you call an LLM, the window in which it has to evaluate is basically kind of fixed. It will depend on your system, your GPU, and so on. But it has one inference time to go. It will run one time to over the inference. If we do it with an agentic framework, we probably will evaluate the thing like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times. So it's 7 times the same computing power you give, and you don't give it to the big task, you give it to subtasks that have been divided. So you win even more. That's exponential, right?
Yes.
The reasoning he must do to complete your success is smaller, and the information he received about it is smaller, and the time he has to do it is twice bigger. So yeah, it's that's the way that you improve a single model or even dump models to be really smart at what they do.
Okay.
So that was the Wikipedia stuff. The other part now is I want to create my own tool. I want to give a tool that access my own database of SQL Server of whatever, looking in my documents or whatsoever. So what I'm going to do is create a class of the model. This is a pydantic model. In this pydantic model, I will define basically what the LLM will have to provide me so that I can call, so that when my tool gets called, I know what to do and how to handle the call, right? So the part here is the active query run. That's the tool we're gonna make. It inherits from base tool. This one is the model and it inherits from base model. Here you're gonna set each of the arguments. In this case, we only have arguments, but you could say something like max result, and you expect that to be an integer, and the max number of results to return default 5, right? And this could be anything. It could be, I mean, you can extend that. What will happen is that when this will go to the LLM, the pydantic parser will be used to generate the description of your tool. So what will be passed to the LLM is you have access to a tool called blah, taking as arguments query and max result. And then again, you use a notation similar. Right? So this is what's gonna be passed to the LLM by this documentation. So you don't need to repeat each time everything, and so you just code the class. The Pydantic framework and the Langchain framework will say, "Oh, you gave me that, and that's the base model that is used here as input, right? The argument schema here." So CrewAI will translate that to your LLM and tell you have tools available. The tool you have available is this guy, taking as argument, and it will actually also put that one. Okay, that's what the tool is capable of. And so what is it? It's a wrapper around arXiv, useful when you need to answer a question about physics, mathematics, computer science, blah, blah, blah. AI, dude, you didn't put AI in there. Oh my God.
Or machine learning, but yeah.
Yeah. But I think the tool needed an update. I mean,
Yeah, no,
artificial
true.
intelligence and
But again,
machine
with
learning, deep learning. But again, that's why, because these class exist into the CrewAI tool set, the Langchain tool set. Sorry, it exists, but I had to modify it because there is a small bug, and I will show you what, guys. I prepared this session like a couple of hours ago, and I was struggling in getting this one working for something as stupid as it is, right? So basically, what I've changed is this, just this. Input should be a search query, and I've just had to add this one using the parameter query. Because every time the LLM came over this, it was using the name search as argument. It was making a function call, but it was not using query, it was using search. all through the documentation said this and so on. So that was a model problem. But how can I solve the model problem? Be more explicit in the prompt. How can I be more explicit in the prompt I make? Well, there is this one is the description that will be communicated to my LLM. So here I have a subform of prompt. I have a prompt, not what I expect the LLM to do as a global task, but how the LLM is supposed to use my tool. So I could say here only use one keyword at a time. Format is like this. I want to see, you can use these results, or year should be between that year and that year. Rating is a number between 0 and 10, right? You can describe not only what the type should be and the default value of your tool, but what kind of keywords you expect, what the categories are, and so on and so on, right? Does that make sense?
Hell yes.
So this will then be translated to this. And the LLM receives like, oh, you need to create a new topic, blah, blah, blah. And you have tools available. From the tools available, you have Arxiv. Arxiv allows you to do this, and you should use these arguments. And by the way, you also have Wikipedia. And I don't have spitted out the Wikipedia tool, but you can guess how this is built exactly the same way. And internally, it will call the Wikipedia API to get you documents back, Wikipedia pages, and only the text of it. So you don't need to scrape, you don't need to remove, use an API or a wrapper around some of the systems. It's much easier than to go scraping or even just doing search results. The search results, news that's going to be published about AI, they come from what? They come from startups and companies that have read archive papers and research academic things, because everything that's new in the AI gets published first. And then
and
companies start to use it. So if you search for Wikipedia and you search for Arxiv, you basically have the ground truth and not the marketing bullshit about what's new around, right?
Legend. Yeah, 100%.
At least in a scientific way. I don't say you have the latest video about self-flipping robots, right? But there are all the means to do that.
Yeah.
So the step here we're gonna do is to do the research on the Arxiv tool. So I basically give here the docs, the category to search for computer science AI and dying neurons in ML. But I will not add it, right? Just let you read the results here. Dying ReLU is an activation function, right? So this is a dying ReLU. These are dying neurons in LLMs, I can tell you. Bit lower, you have work efficient pruning, neurons author. This might be more a scientific thing about like health more than about neurons. Dynamically combining noise injection, activating one cycle schedule. No scheduled regulation. No. That's also, yeah, efficient model compression and optimizing dying neurons. Yeah. So this is not health related. It's also neural networks related, and it's kind of new. So maybe I should read it. I don't know about it apparently, which is not usual. Then this one is a much older paper, but again, it's giving the abstract of the paper and so on. So we know much more about this paper. We use the API in a large way, so there are other arguments I can pass. I think if it wants to, no, not here, but you can show you
Blink
the.
strike. Wow.
What is it?
Blink strike. I was zoomed in like two. I was watching, and you just changed that white, and it just flashbang.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, sorry.
No, all good. My bad.
I killed your eyes, right?
Yeah.
So there are arguments here
Worth
to
it.
get them.
Worth it.
These are sorted by relevance. And so I'm not interested in this case by relevance. I should be interested by date of publication. My channel needs to be up to date at the latest info, not at the most relevant on dying networks. Or maybe I could combine both queries. I do one with the relevance and once with the latest info, right? That's up to each task. There are parameters, but my intelligence gave up on me. So I don't remember what it is, but it's sorted, and then there is a class to give. Something like that. Could be working. It's date or published or modified. I think it's published. If it doesn't work, don't shoot me. Yeah, it's close of that, and you can check the API of Arxiv to do it. Basically, questions? No. So
No.
we have tasks. We have ways to look up scientific papers. We have ways to look up encyclopedic content a la Wikipedia, right?
Yeah.
So now we're gonna basically set up our tools. What is the tools? The tools is because all the tools of
From
Langchain,
Langchain already.
you
Yeah.
can load them by name. So you can also have the Arxiv here. And that's the default one that is in the library. But as I modified it, I basically am doing this right now, right? I'm taking the ones loaded automatically by name, and I adding the one I have created. Yeah, the tools, the one I have created, the Arxiv tool. So now my tools area is the one created by our friends Langchain, and the second one is Arxiv I created myself, and could be yet. I mean, you can add as much tools as you want there, right? So
Yes.
tools, tasks, but who's gonna do it? I ain't.
Agent.
That's yeah, that's already defined that it's not gonna be me. So these are the agents. What do we need as an agent? We need a research agent. We need an outline creator, content integration. We need a script writer, and we need a virtual assistant, creation agent, and then I will have a social media, social community management agent, community engagement agent, right? So I gave those guys names. Don't ask me why. It was funny. Or I would say ChatGPT gave those guys names, right? So Ray is a former investigative journalist who has a knack for uncovered the last. I will make it so that you can read it maybe a bit better.
Oh,
Maybe too big, right?
perfect.
So after years of digging into deep stories, Ray transitioned into the digital content world, leveraging his skills to help creators to stay ahead of the curve, right? The goal. So again, we have this, a bit of the same structure as we had in the previous one, right? We had, and I started with that here in the prompt. You are, that's the role, that's your backstory, your resume. Your goal is to using the tools blah. Okay, so that's now what we are defining here. So your role, your backstory, and your goal. As in the task, it was this is the input you're gonna have, and we have my expected output. Expected output is to compare what is your is to compare with goal, right? What is that agent? What is his daily job and duty? What is his goal in the company to perform? So he to provide comprehensive, up-to-date research that helps to shape the direction of the channel's content. Then we have a researcher. That's the guy that's gonna look up on Wikipedia and on Arxiv about the things. So Olivia was once a strategy consultant for major media firms, knowing for her ability to synthesize complex information into clear, actionable plans. She now uses her talents to help content creators map out their content effectively. What is her goal? Goal is to create detailed and engaging outlines that guide the content creation process seamlessly. You see that this was generated by ChatGPT or whatever because it's a little bit bullshitting, like, right? To integrate seamlessly.
It's
You
rather
will, you and me will not write prompts like that. Is please do that, and that's what the output. But here it's like a little bit bullshitting the thing, like create detailed and engaging outlines that guide the content creation process seamlessly. Right? Yeah, you're right. So, content integration agent, Chris, our friend Chris, is a background in library science and data management. His expertise in organizing and cross-referencing large volumes of information makes him perfect for ensuring new content. What shit? But no, sorry, I didn't expect the horn there. His expertise in organizing, cross-referencing large volumes of information makes him. Does that mean there's a question, or
you can do that.
Can we just mute that guy? Well, I'll mute him here on my side, but I don't know who's got power to mute him.
Yeah, I got muted too. Sorry, guy, but that was not like a friendly thing to do. Chris has a background in library science and data management. His expertise in organizing, cross-referencing large volumes of information makes him perfect for ensuring new content fits well within the existing frameworks. To build a cohesive narrative. So the goal is to build a cohesive narrative by connecting new content with existing topics. So that's the guy that will create the content and the mixing it. He a little bit disturbed me. I hope he's not too mad about me, but
Well, I literally just muted him and literally just blocked him. I don't care, dude. If you come into something like this with that attitude, you can leave.
yeah. Yeah, that's it. And once it was okay, and if it was for a question, I can accept that. But then you come in with voice, and you just say, "Yeah, I have a question.
Exactly. It's just
I would like
seeking
to ask this."
attention. That's all it is.
But that
Pathetic.
was really there was trolling for trolling, and I don't like that.
Yeah.
So
But
create.
in the spirit of the internet and AI, trolls will be trolls.
Yeah. But I think everyone has reacted very quickly. Like, who the heck is this guy? I'm like
Yeah, no.
talking for I don't know how much time now, and everybody's like religiously silent to it. And then you got that stupid guy that comes and toot, and it's like, ooh, hey, oh guy, you're disturbing not only me but the other ones, dude. Okay, so the
Please
script
continue.
writer.
Yes, yes.
Scriptwriting agent. Sam is a former screenwriter with experience in both film and digital media. His storytelling skills ensure that every piece of content is engaging and informative. What is his goal? To craft scripts that are compelling and aligned, with a channel voice and vision. He will use tools for that, but we will see these are just defining the classes, and we will see how we will pass which tool to who and how we can choose that, right? There are parameters if verbose is if I want to see during the output, and definitely in this case I want to see always in the output what happens, right? On the other side is allow delegation. Do I allow Sam to ask Chris to take this job? No. If the task arrives to Sam, then Sam
Yes.
has to do it. But I could have someone in the middle that
Yes.
allow delegation, yes, because he's gonna be like in a graph he's gonna be a branch, right? He can create a branch. He can say, oh, that's not for me, that's for that guy. He can be the researcher, the head of research, but he could have a scientific researcher, a sport researcher, or whatever under his hood. And so you can then allow delegation, sorry, so that he says, yeah, that's fine to ask me, but that's not for me. That would be for Olivia or for Chris or Crass, right?
Yes.
So I put
100%.
that on false. Create the content creation, create the script writer, create the visual assets creator. So that's the guy that's gonna create the girl that's gonna create our content. So Vicky is a graphic designer and visual artist who has worked with numerous brands to create eye-catching results. Her ability to translate concept into compelling visuals, their prompts is unparalleled. Again, a little bit of bullshitting to the end, it doesn't hurt. To create visual assets that enhance the storytelling of content, right?
Mhm.
Then the social media agent, social media and community engagement agent, Casey. Casey is a social media strategist who has successfully managed online communities for various brands with the expertise. Who has feedback? Who has feedback? VK, sorry. Okay. So, with expertise in crafting, engaging, I don't know where I was.
Yeah, sorry, I muted him as well. You
For
were
various.
with
So, with
you were
yeah,
with the
here
yeah,
with
the
the
social media agent.
expertise in crafting engaging posts and interacting with audiences. Casey ensures that the content reaches and resonates with a wide audience. His goal is to create and schedule engaging posts for Twitter and LinkedIn and promote the new video content effectively, right?
Got you.
So, I think we got all our guys. We know what they have to do. We know what tools they should be able to use later on and so on. Next, we now gonna create the crew. Is there any question around?
I've only got two slight, smaller questions. The
Yeah,
one
yeah, yeah.
was if you
Shoot in,
go
shoot
right
in.
up to the top for the async, I understand async would be obviously. So let's say if we wanted one of these agents to, in real time,
That's the
interact
task.
with social
That,
media content or task, yeah, you do that.
no,
But
no,
then the
no,
other
no.
question, no,
No,
yeah,
no,
I'm
no, no.
listening.
Let me specify this
Please.
first. So async execution means if an agent receives 1, 2, 3 tasks to do, or if the manager decides like, okay, this is for Sam, and Sam is gonna have to do this and this task. The question is, does Sam have to execute everything serially, or can we spawn 3 Sams to execute the task in parallel? Should I only use one agent and have that agent execute each task, the one after the other? Or can I clone my SAM guy 3 times for executing the three coming tasks? Async is it asynchronous? Can I launch the task and wait that he comes back to me? Or should I start the task? Because you always have to see that in the head of the manager of the team. So the manager of the team will say, okay, I have 3 tasks to be done by Sam, and then the question is, can Sam do that asynchronously? Can I give him the 3 tasks and wait till he done the 3, or should I give him task 1, task 2, and then task 3? Because there might be dependencies between task 1, 2, and 3. The 2 could be a task that requires task 1 to be finished. Write a file, read the file, modify the file, do a check-in. You cannot do that in parallel. You will have some troubles, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So next question.
I think someone else had questions here in the chat.
Oh yeah,
Someone was
sorry.
asking, will there be a rediffusion somewhere?
Will be seen if I watch the video and so on. But given the comments at the end, I will see. But probably we will deliver the video. Yeah. It
I
doesn't
have a
sound too.
quick one.
Yeah, Pat.
How important is it to be using Langchain? Like, just Ollama is enough for this, or I see like
So
you mostly use Langchain.
CrewAI is built on top with Langchain. So CrewAI internally uses Langchain all over the place. The fact that it's using Langchain, if you know a bit of the Langchain framework and the ecosystem, opens you 2,000 doors. Because as shown, the tools I've used here, the tool here, right, comes from Langchain, the Wikipedia. And on the website here, you've got tens of tools. So I would say you can use CrewAI without importing the Langchain module, but internally it will anyway use nothing else than CrewAI. So at that point, does it make sense for you to not use it? When you know that that is opening a lot of doors and so on. So when you install CrewAI, one of its dependencies is Langchain. And thanks to Langchain, you can use not one module or not only Ollama, but thanks to that, in this part here, up, you have direct access. I mean, direct access, what I mean with that is that you have a lot of other LLMs which might require a key. I don't say that they are all open and so on. But
unrepentant sayings of Jesus.
Joel, sorry, but we'll shut you down. Yep, done. So this will mean that you have 20 or 30 LLM platforms available. You got the Hugging Face stuff, you got Vertex AI, and so on and so on. That's also coming from Langchain. So the fact that it's built on Langchain is not something you can change. you can not use all these and use OpenAPI by default or whatever. At some point you will have to, so you might stick to only include this class, use without no tools or whatever. If you use tools, the built-in ones, then it resumes to doing that part, right? But it's also LangChain. So even the tools you pass to CrewAI or LangChain tools, the LLMs you're gonna pass to, it's LangChain. So you can not use it without, I would say, because some points are, but what you need to use is minimal, and what you can use is awesome. So yeah, does that make
Sorry,
sense?
I
Got
was
it,
laughing
thanks.
because I was laughing because I was picturing a meme. It's Langchain. It's Langchain.
Yeah, but sorry, but it's the case, and the tool is totally and if you see what have we done in Tea of Throats and so on, the prompt engineering techniques, the passing from the one to the other LLM and so on, basically what CrewAI does is not that much difficult. You could do that yourself. You could do
Yeah, yeah.
yourself building one LLM prompt chain talking to another LLM prompt chain and mixing it up, make your choices and so on. The fact that the framework exists for you and Langchain is CrewAI, sorry, is not that much of classes because all of its power or magic is in the fact that it uses LangChain, and on top of that, what they've added is a bit of prompt engineering. They format this to a prompt for you with additional instructions in front and additional instructions below, so that most model understand what we expect from them. But there is no it's only prompt formatting
Yeah.
and synchronization between the LLM-A and the LLM-B. It's doing a chat room. It makes a chat room and makes it so that it formats direct messages from one agent to another in a certain way by describing the tools that are available, by describing the role, the backstory, and so on. That's everything it does. It's just, I mean, yeah, text formatter, a prompt builder on its own. It's powerful. Don't get me wrong. I'm presenting the tool, so I believe in it. But at the complexity side, that's not where the complexity is, right?
Yeah. For now, we're just going with Langchain. Well, mainly. Sorry to interject here. A YouTuber once said something I didn't really understand. He said that Langchain's coding language, basically, and its whole system tries to keep you in Langchain, essentially, in the environment. But now, after seeing you explain all of this, I can understand clearly why. So, but yeah, no, this is amazing. Thank you. Sorry, continue.
The whole no problem. The entire crew AI is built on LangChain, and
Yeah.
we made a notebook about Tea of Throats and so on, and how you create a prompt and get the string out of it and so on. And what does LangChain? What does crew AI? Sorry, I mixed both names constantly. But what does CrewAI do is just based on simple classes that just contain prompts and info. No, okay, now it's the time for agent one to interact, so let's format his prompt with his tools and send
Yes.
that to an LLM, and the LLM is one of the available. The tools, well, that's one of the LangChain available. It's also a power that they have of having based themselves on LangChain, seen the ecosystem that is around LangChain. That means that with a little bit of code on the CrewAI side, they can do a lot of wonderful things, and they just have to focus, and don't get me wrong there, on managing the chat room and formatting the messages from and to each agent so that the flow takes a conversational meeting, or I don't know how you could call it, a collaborative way, the agentic style of things, right? But they don't need to fiddle and handle the I/O, the input outputs, and so on of everything. Okay.
Yes.
So now I'm gonna create a crew. So I'm gonna tell to my crew, these are my agents. This is everything that needs to be done, right? Sorry, that's all the persons you have available, and that's all the methods we have created before, and we have seen the profile of each guy independently, right?
Mm.
And now we have the task. And in the task, I had to provide the previous subjects and the new subject, or the channel subject. So sorry, the previous topics and the channel subject. The new topic we're gonna do and the channel subject. And at this point is a place where you normally would leave these empty because they come from the previous one, right?
Yes, yes.
You're not gonna specify this information to the next guy. So you create all these tasks, the Twitter task, then the LinkedIn task, and finally you give it a manager LLM. So that's the guy that's gonna sit in the middle of the room and say, oh, that's job for you, that's job for you, that's job for you.
All right.
Okay, so
With you.
now, each of the agent has its own LLM and could be different models, could be different APIs, could be whatever you want. And then you have one manager, that's the guy who's gonna manage who does what, and he knows the team. So earlier, each agent will be presented as you are blah blah blah. This one, the manager, will be presented as you are the manager. This is your team. Sam does that, Chris does that, Casey is responsible for this part, and that's his background and that's his role. We were asked by the user to perform a couple of tasks. Who of your team is the most apt to perform task 1, task 2, task 3? That's the role of the manager, right?
With you. 100%.
And now the YouTuber crew, we can do the kickoff meeting, right? So I will scroll back to all these calls that were done because what you see here is the entire chat between
Yes.
all the agents. That's the conversation log of everything that happened during the chain. Okay? So first thing, we're gonna ask the task to the manager. So the manager, we don't see the manager. We only see the agent that have responded. So one of the first agents says, yeah, to conduct the research, and maybe I should not read that out loud, or you prefer that I read that out loud? My
With
reading,
you.
my reading, my reading is not that perfect, right? So can I see that in text editor? We will run that over again. Yeah, questions. Please shoot in the
Maybe a
meanwhile.
side question. I can't imagine. For now, I can't envision a scenario where the manager would need to speak. But obviously, you could make the manager if you wanted to, maybe, right? Like just
Yes, sir. So there is logging information available, and I hope that the DevOps, the agent ops, sorry, because I had problems earlier today, that it works and that it will show the flow working correctly. I see there are questions in the chat, but is that related to now, or is that like
Let's see.
maybe put the questions here and
No, I think that's someone else with the actual problem that they need help with.
Yeah, that was my question. Is that not something that should have been
No.
on the chat, the general text chat, and not related to this?
Yeah, maybe.
So if you can be the guard of the contents, because I cannot of the comments, sorry, I cannot always look at it. But so if you have things to, if you see questions, just cut me and I will answer.
We'll do
Right?
so. Cool. Sure.
Nobody else has questions. Nobody else. It's all loud and clear. Damn,
Perfect.
but
Loud
you.
and clear. That's it. Oops, sorry.
So you all know this actually. I'm doing this for nothing. So there are no questions, nothing. So you
I was
all
actually going to say this is my first time actually seeing the whole agentic reasoning. Like I've been in it for a while now,
okay.
but this is my first time actually seeing it
Seeing
run
it in
nicely.
action. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just and it's so much. I understand this is very complex, and I understand you're making it look easy, but this seems. I understand it. I'm with you, 100%. Thank you very much.
At the end, it is easy. Sometimes the learning curve or the frameworks or the way to get into look like
It's
complicated,
easier than I
and
thought, though.
but it's at the end it's easy. You can achieve, and I will send you because I don't think you were there in the last call, but I will send you also the tree of toads part that shows how to use LangChain and make prompts and send them over and back. And when you understand that, understanding this is even easier. But then you see, okay, but actually it's not that complicated. Prompt engineering is a science. Prompt engineering is really something you should be watching, because that's the difficult part actually. All these definition of who does what am I expecting as output, and here we
Luckily, this one, okay, I'll save this for when you're off the recording. But I can share some prompt engineering stuff that I
yeah
really think
sure.
you'll enjoy.
Yeah, sure. And I done a lot of them. This is really the easy part, and I had troubles in the rest of the code, like 10 minutes before the presentation, so I could not spend much more time to the prompt engineering. But I cited it already a couple of times. The tree of thoughts part is really much more built to that, and it doesn't has the tool. So we are building up a bit of content that will grade by grade get you to a full thing. But I think if you try to present something with every little detail into it, then you get lost in details, right? It's not so that's why I've not included the image generation. I've not included a RAG system, because that's a topic for another video. But if you got all them together, you got the full system, and otherwise the questions will go in all directions, and it would be too much to shoe in one shot, right?
Sebastian, legend, and 10 out of freaking 10, man. Like, legit. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, man.
I've also missed the last video, and I would very
Yeah,
gladly get the link to it.
yeah, sure.
And yeah, I also don't have any questions right now, but I'm sure that once I actually start trying to implement it myself, then I'll be like, okay, what the fuck is going on now?
Yeah,
So,
and normally I
but
will stick around. I will be around the normal. I mean, I can't guarantee, but I'm often on the
yeah,
channel or so. So yeah, don't hesitate. Come back in coming days, in coming weeks. If you see me around, shoot your questions. I'm more than happy to share the knowledge I've
thanks.
accumulated.
It's a great
So
introduction, at least for now.
yeah, thank you.
Amen.
So we started our our framework, or sorry, our crew, and in 3 minutes 30 more or less, it has run the entire chain. So I will dig into this one, and I might be saving this to.
Blink
Uh,
strike.
yeah, sorry, but I wanted to save this in like a markdown format or something to be able to
Funny
a
enough.
bit annotate with you together and discuss this, right? So I will remove that guy. Okay, so to conduct a comprehensive search on the AI natural networks, that's the topic we have mentioned, right? I will need to gather information, recent trends, and blah, blah, blah. I will use the available tools, Wikipedia and Arxiv. Those names are already seen, to find the most. So that's the first response from an LLM, right? It was already prompted.
Okay, so this is technically then the manager speaking that I'm seeing now. I got you.
That's
The
the
manager
response of the
LLM.
that's the response of the first employee,
Okay.
which was given tools, because the manager has no tools. The manager, we have given it the same LLM,
Mm.
but so it is when I create a task that I assign tools, right?
Yes. Yes.
I
Okay.
have assigned agents and tools, but my manager is someone else. And as said, you don't
Yes.
see the speech of the manager. So the
Yes.
manager
Yes.
has now asked to a first agent do this shit, and the
Yes.
first agent says, well,
All right. So we only see the first response from.
to
Okay.
conduct,
First.
yeah. Well, I
Okay. Cool.
will see on DevOps if that comes good, but so it's not DevOps, Agent Ops. To
Yes.
conduct a
Yes. Yes.
comprehensive research on topics of AI, machine learning, I need to go to the internet to go on recent news, trends, research papers related to these topics. I will use the available tools, Wikipedia and Arxiv. So the manager has told him, you have tools to your belong. That's the topics we want to know about, and you need to do a research about it. That's the task at hand. So to find the most relevant and up-to-date information. First, I will search for recent trends and developments in artificial intelligence. Let's use Wikipedia for that, and I will use the search parameter of the method Wikipedia, and I will give it this shit. Okay, oh, this shit, no, sorry, this title, search, keywords, whatever. And so that's function calling that's now going on. So now we are
Yes.
still in employee number 1, the researcher, research. We are still in the researcher. The researcher has received this input from before, and now he has that's basically his thought. And so that is thought, and now he has his action. The action is I will use Wikipedia, and the input for the action is this. Then the tool is called, so that's Wikipedia stuff, right? That's all our Wikipedia stuff.
Yeah, comes out archive babies.
What is it?
No, I was just saying there comes out archive babies.
Okay, watch out for the link strike. Okay.
I appreciate the warning.
Maybe okay. Yes, it is. Wrong keywords. Okay. So that's now all the Wikipedia part, right? With 1, 2, 3 pages with the content. I'm not gonna read that all out, right? We already done the part earlier. So now the second part is the thought again. The LLM has the tool has returned this to the LLM back to our researcher, and he says, "Well, I have gathered some information on recent news. Now I need to delve deeper into the research papers on AI." So he uses Wikipedia, and now he says, "Well, that's fine. I have the latest news. Now I want to the research about it. For it, I will use the archive to search the latest papers on the topics." Archive input is use this query with these parameters, the same as for the Wikipedia part, right? And then he will generate again a shitload of markdown, not markdown, that's the abstracts from the PDFs of the papers, right?
Oh yes.
And and now, as you can see, which we didn't do in my sample I did at hand, but those dates are much more newer because it was trends 2023. Even though the date is not absolutely respected, that's not the point that I want to make. But there's no paper of 2017 into there, right?
Okay, yeah.
So it's only the papers for 2003 or from 2003, is the trends about 2003, so that's still valid to me. Right. Again, this is gonna be fed to the next LLM. Now I have a clearer understanding. So as you see, they're really talking to each other and reasoning to their
Yes.
own. They are emitting thoughts. So it's okay, I should search. Oh, I have search. Then I now have a clear understanding of recent trends and research in the field of artificial intelligence. I can now compile and detailed report summarizes new topics directions for future relevant to the channel subject. Final answer of this guy is here is a detail. So this is the employee providing his, so the first man in the chain is providing now his final answer. And his final answer is here is a detailed report summarizing the new topics, directions, blah, blah, blah. Intelligence channel report. And goddamn, that's formatted in Markdown. I will not read that out loud, right? But there's a trends analysis about artificial intelligence art, about artificial intelligence AGI, applications of AI. Then he's gonna go on the research about it, the game-based development platforms, the conceptual modeling and AI, intelligent escape and robotic systems, potential gaps and new directions, interdisciplinary approaches, ethical and society implications, AI creative industries, AI from I mean, for a channel, a YouTube channel, you already have a couple of videos there, right? You can
Yeah,
already
yeah. Absolutely.
make a table of content of and make a UI around this tool and so on, and you select, no, I don't want to see that, I don't want to see that, put that on the first one, or you change your prompt, you say, yes, AI channel, but about gaming in AI, right? And you run this again, and this will be 10 elements of new character things, rendering things, whatever is gaming AI related, okay? Again, this was stupid prompts assembled in like 10-20 minutes. I spent 2 hours in putting the entire thing together, testing a bit, and had
Thank you
more,
for your time, Professor.
no problem, but I had more versioning problems than actual real problems with the code and running it, right? So now we got all that, and we got a damn full list of content for our channel. And as a conclusion, this report provides the comprehensive overview of recent trends and research in AI, machine learning, and neural networks, along with potential gaps and new direction for future content. By focusing on this area, the channel can provide valuable, up-to-date information to its audience and explore innovative topics that resonate with current developments in the field. By leveraging this information, the channel can create engaging, not exactly the same content that not only addresses current trends but also anticipates future directions in rapidly evolving landscape of again, that's the model talking to each other. That's not the model talking to each other. That's the employee replying to the manager. Here is the work you've asked me. You've asked me to search. I've used two tools. I've done this, and this is my final answer. This is my report. So that's, call it the email that the employee will send back to the manager and say, done for me, right? That's why we see finish the chain, because this guy has finished executing his chain of tasks. Now we go to the next guy. To create a comprehensive and engaging outline, remember the search, second one is to create just an outline for the content on backpropagation algorithms. In the context of artificial intelligence, I need to get relevant information, trends and challenges, future engagement in backpropagation. That was the topic at hand, right? This one is a list of new topics, and this one is one of the topics we want him to handle, basically. First, I will search for papers and so on. We know the process right now. So let's get that short. So he's not using more than Arxiv. He's not using Wikipedia because he already received that information from the previous guy, and he's now more informed not about trends in 2023 but backpropagation algorithms. So he has decided to go back on the research. So we have a general table of content and now a plan for the channel about new content to be generated in the future. And one of the things I've asked is this, and then this employee has decided to do my job correctly, I should go to Arxiv and ask about backpropagation algorithms. He receives 1, 2, 3 articles. Now, we didn't specify 2023 in trends and so on, so that's an older article, but it might be the most relevant of the entire collection, so let it be. The final answer is an outline for containing for a content on backpropagation in artificial intelligence. I should do first an introduction, a definition, the historical content, then the recent trends and developments, the name of an algorithm, the description, what the performance, what the implications is, another algorithm, description, conversions, speed up, another algorithm, description, methodology, and so on. Then the major trends in backpropagation based on the pages he received, and he only took 3. We could add 20 of them already, right? I think that's clear that we can make that much more complex than this simple sample. But what is the major trend? We improve efficiency, parallel processing, conversions. That was this part, right? Conversion guarantee. That's this algorithm. So based on the 3 papers he has found as being in the backpropagation stuff, what are the trends that are identified? What are the challenges? Scalability, resource utilization, algorithm complexity. Then the next, what are the future advancements and bio-inspired algorithms, integration with other disciplines, ethical and societal implications, transparency, fairness, regulation frameworks, AI and social goods, healthcare, I mean, if you are not amazed by now, then I don't know where you need
Well,
to, right?
I'm blown away because I've already got use cases. Even telling you now in the next couple hours, or probably go to sleep, but I'll be building, man. Like
So
you
I mean,
got me. I'm sold.
that's kind of, and as you've seen, it's not that I have 1,000 lines of code. I defined the tool, or in the other one, I defined the
Exactly.
tool, a
And we
crew.
haven't even, iterated or even fine-tuned it. So, and then even then, we haven't even taken into consideration the different types of LLMs models that we call for the tools. Like,
Indeed. This is
oh
just
yeah,
showing the glue.
oh
Showing the
yes,
glue,
yes.
how you glue all those components together, how you press the play button to get the call it the Discord channel of YouTube video creators working. It's like, okay, put all those guys together, say who has to do what, give them a broad idea, because what I give as instructions is not that much. It's artificial intelligence, backpropagation, go ahead, bye, and that's it. So yeah, we don't give a lot of information, a couple of prompting, yes, sure, but that's not, you cannot go around that, I mean. And so if you divide and conquer, if you do prompt engineering, if you do that, well, this is just the most amazing, I would say, combination of agents and so on. And you make each of them much more intelligent than alone, because it's gonna pass his conclusion to the next one, and so on and so on. And each of these guys has focused on one thing. I do the research, make a plan. I use the plan to choose whatever is interesting in this article. Or I reuse the search tool to go deeper on the topic I was asked on. Now I redact something, and at the end, this guy is like, I make an outline. This is not a paragraph, but you put that in another LLM, step by step, paragraph by paragraph. Work this out. Let him reuse the research tools or Wikipedia to make a 2-page article about this, 2-page about that, 2-page about that. And you will have too much content at the end of the work to make it really a video that's still listenable. You will have a video of 4 hours. So
100%.
by focusing on these areas, the content will provide comprehensive overview, backpropagation, addressing both the current trends and the future direction. This approach will ensure blah blah blah, bullshit. Up-to-date information and its audience explores innovative topics, blah 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 blah, in artificial intelligence. So that's yet another thought. I need to analyze the current topics in AI, machine learning, and integrate the new topic, backpropagation algorithms, within the existing framework. To do this, I will gather relevant information that connects the areas, ensuring a comprehensive list of cross-references. So now we are at the third employee, right?
Yeah, I think it's the third. Yeah, first was yeah.
Yeah,
First was our
yeah.
guy, then was
But
our archive guy.
now we
Guy.
are at the cross-linking, right?
Yes, across. Yes.
Cross-linking. So he says I need to analyze and to uh, ensuring a comprehensive list of cross-references and connections is constructed. First, I need to understand the core concept of AI machine learning and to see backpropagation, fit this in. I should here not, this is wrong in the sense that he should not have received just these keywords, but the list of previous videos, titles, and
Yeah.
names. And I don't have those. So he should not be using that tool and output that, right? But let's admit, I mean, I think for the example, that doesn't make much of a difference.
Yes.
Okay, so
With you 100%.
okay, then the thought is now I have an understanding that I need to focus on machine learning neuron and how they connect with the backpropagation. So here you see it. That was topics we've give as existing topics, and that's the new topic. And his thought is now that I know about these topics, I need to see how they connect with this guy. For that, I will use Wikipedia, search for machine learning, blah blah blah. He gets pages back. Thoughts. Now I have a broader understanding of him and the connections between those. Apparently he went into some loop because he executed that like twice. Backpropagation through time and so on. Okay. Did he change maybe the query? Oh yeah, he searched now backpropagation and he researched machine learning. And here you search artificial intelligence. So, I mean, again, if this was my database of previous videos, if it was JSON, it would look for each of the existing videos, and at the end, look for the last one here, the backpropagation. That would be the new video, right? So it looks that all up, receives all the information, and we arrive to, I have comprehensive understanding of the broader topics of AI, machine learning, and neural networks, and well-specific subject of backpropagation algorithms. I will now create a cohesive list of cross-references and connections between the new topic and the existing one. Note, he made the parentheses. He really understood what we're talking about, right? I need to integrate this boy in these guys.
Definitely.
Final,
Sorry, I'm
final
just
answer.
muting myself because I got the dog. Well, not my dog, but a dog barking. Sorry.
No problem, no problem. So now we got the final answer, which is the comprehensive list of the cross references and connections between the things. Introduction to backpropagation, definition, historical context, the recent trends and developments, the algorithms come back in, the potential changes, the future advancements, conclusion. By focusing on this area, I don't see really the cross-linking that much, but we should read a bit more to see if he has not linked it out. And backpropagation and machine learning, yeah, of course they are linked and not only cross-linked, it's just the same topic. I mean, it's the question I've asked is a bit stupid, right? So don't expect the results to be much better. It's already amazing what analysis he has done on the thing. But if you really had videos with a piece of transcript of abstract of your video, then it will do the correct linking in between both, right? It's garbage in, garbage out. I give it garbage, I receive garbage. Cannot do better.
No, absolutely. But or I just had a semi thought. Oh, sorry. Someone wanted to say something.
Yeah, go on, shoot.
I was just thinking now is like the future frameworks of actual businesses. You could build an entire company, and sure, with enough iteration and enough code,
Well,
you can
one
basically
of my
automate.
one of my first projects in CrewAI was effectively a business consultant. So the app started by an interview of you of what you want to do. And you had a business analyst, a business consultant that would ask, what's your product about? What's the company you want to create? Oh, I want to create something in healthcare to help. Okay, what's the product? What's the value you want to bring to the market? Well, I want to make products and sell to the, I don't know what healthcare sector and so on. And he was asking you questions exactly in the same way, but there was a human
Yeah.
in the loop and he was helping you to build up the business. I went up to, okay, now we have a plan. Let me start the IT department. And it was creating a shared drive in the sense that it was starting a Docker container, attached a volume with the shared drive of the company, attached another volume for the CAO, created a Jira for issues, right?
This is why I'm here, you legend. Sorry.
Creating a landing page. And what was my first content of the landing page? The presentation of the crew. It was, this is our crew. And with profile photos, because you have agents, they have a profile, they have a fucking name. So one of the first work was, this is the IT department. I've created the Jira. I've created a shared drive for you. I've created the private drive for you. And now I will create your website. And the first page of the website I created was, this is our team. Meet us. And I was meet the crew, was it actually is. So I was presenting the crew that has built up the site and the company. That's a little bit meta, but that was so fun. That was so fun.
May you be blessed, Sebastian. Really, thank you.
So you can create that. Of course, you can create that. This is really just an intro to it, and I want to keep it light and informative.
Give me 2 weeks, and I will show you something
Yeah.
beautiful made with this. Give me 2 weeks, bro. 2 weeks.
No problem, man. I will enjoy to see you guys thinking of it. That's what's all so fun in the open source community, one learns something or discovers something,
Dude,
presents it to the
everything
other,
I've
and
learned has been through the open source community, and I say this publicly to everyone.
they transform it to their own salt, and they add their own soul into it, and then you say, yeah, I'm not gonna do that, but that one I will pick up, and that one too. Oh, that's a great thing. So yeah, that's all the reason of it. So yeah, I like it. I like it. So now we are at the employee number, I don't know what, and we don't have an outline, and
Number
then
4.
and yeah,
No,
okay,
yeah,
which
after
is the
the
script,
cross-linking.
but it's a script writer. That's definitely the case. So now we are at our script writer. So we have the outline, we have the cross-linking reference, which is everything, right? So now the scripts. Understanding the script is the video itself, right? That's the scenery of what's gonna happen. And I think you guys are not ready, right? Script understanding backpropagation algorithm in artificial intelligence. Opening scene. A sleek modern studio with a large screen displaying animated neural networks and algorithms. The host, Sam, walks into the frame smiling at the camera. Hello AI enthusiasts, welcome back to our channel. Today we're diving deep into the topic of blah 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 blah, right? Put that in a text to speech. Put that to a video generation.
Yes.
You have your video, you have the scene, and it's separated with little dots. So you have scene 1, scene 2, scene 3, and everything is there. That the video is done, guys. I mean, the screen shows a historical timeline with key figures and milestones related to backpropagation. Let's start with a bit of history. Backpropagation, short for backpropagation of errors, is a method used in artificial blah 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 blah. And then the concept was first introduced in 1962. Oh, Wikipedia, we thank you so much by Frank Roosevelt, but it wasn't until 1986 that David E. Remhart, Jeffrey Hinton, and I don't know who is the other guy, published an experiment analysis that truly popularized IT. That popularized it, not IT, sorry. Cut off. Historical photos of Rosenblatt, Rummelholt, Hinton, and so on. Okay, stable diffusion. Please get me a caricature, a sepia image of those guys, a cartoon of those guys together. I don't mind. Then Sam again. So you can also make a scenario with two people speaking to each other and inventing the entire conversation.
Yeah.
So Sam and Bram and Sam and these pioneers. I'm not gonna read every slide out. I will send that to you guys, so you will be able to see it, but see that holy fucking shit, no? That not amazing? How many scenes we have? We have
And it took me what,
1,
3 minutes to
yeah, 1, 2,
round.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and I think if you read that, I mean, a dynamic recommendation system interface, cut off, so yeah, the visuals are there, they're integrated in the script and so on and so on. It's just, yeah, complete, full. I don't know what to add more. That's just like, oh my.
I can't wait, honestly, and I say this, and God's honest truth, I'm probably maybe a year, 2, 3, maybe a decade away, I don't know, but I can't wait to hook this up to cybersecurity.
Yeah, I've done a couple of those things, so I know what you're talking about. Cybersec is like
man.
is my old. I now moved to AI, but I was more a cybersec guy in 10 years ago and so on. So now we have our visual creator, Vicky, or I don't know how she's called again, but now we're gonna create the visual assets. So she's gonna receive the entire script, the entire scenario, and so on. So given the task to identify, create the visual assets for the video based on script about backpropagation algorithms, I need to first gather relevant information about backpropagation and how they. That's why, but because I didn't do the pass through actually from the one to each other, right?
Yeah.
Right.
I remember that.
But then here are the visual assets required. Introduction to backpropagation. A visual representation neural network, blah, blah, blah. A flowchart illustrating the process of backpropagation, forward pass, loss calculation, backward pass. The portraits of key figures, like, yeah, I already seen these names somewhere, right? That's the exact same guys. The source was the same, it was Wikipedia, but anyway, it decided to get the images of those guys. important milestones in development of Backstamper. Then we will like an animated graphic, because this was image or graphic, but now we want something animated. A step-by-step animation of the backpropagation algorithm showing how gradients are calculated and weights are updated. A chart and a diagram. The graphs illustrate the gradient descent process and the cost functions via iterations. I've seen a cookbook about these things. I've done a cookbook about that. Application in AI, image and graphics, examples of neural networks application, image recognition, language processing, then the diagram, structure of the specific neural networks and models like AlexNet. That's probably the most known and old network for image recognition, right? Advanced topics, image and graphics about the visualization of recurrent networks and the backpropagation to backpropagation time. I missed the acronym. Then the key points about Geoffrey Hinton, which is the inventor of the backpropagation, contributions and milestones in deep learning, then a summary of the benefits, then again his colleagues receiving the Turing Award, right? Next, the final answer, up, exactly the same thing, and he finished his chain. So now we come to our community manager. To create an engaging and informative Twitter post promoting our newly published video on backpropagation in artificial intelligence, I'll need to craft a compelling description, include relevant hashtags, and provide a link to the video. Given the context and the content of the video, I will focus on highlighting key aspects of the video, such as historical context, technical explanations, and applications in AI. Toad, I need to gather some information. Yes, we didn't do the pass-through, so it's same question. And the final answer for Twitter is dive with a little emoji, dive into the world of hashtag artificial intelligence with our latest video on backpropagation. Padam! Learn the history of explore. It's above the 140 characters, so probably we would have to put some quality control on this. Like I said, a
Yeah, of
tweet,
course.
dude, not a book, right?
Yes, yes.
So we probably need to refine maximum in the prompt. We can refine and say I only want so much chars and not that much. Then
Like,
entering the chain, executing the chain toads. The next one is I need to create a professional and engaging LinkedIn post that includes a description of the video, artificial intelligence, relevant hashtags, a link to the video. The content should be tailored to a professional audience on LinkedIn. Final and a little bit disappointed for me because he does basically the same.
yeah,
While
yeah.
the task was
But
stated
again, that's
differently.
just. Sorry.
What? Come back
I
again?
think
I was just gonna say it was just formatting and the extra
Yes,
code putting into there.
yeah, because it's exactly the same thing. But again,
Exactly.
fine-tuning, choosing adequate models, not obliging him to search each time, but giving the previous step data and so on will all help to this, right? This is, I said, I made this in like an hour or two, and I'm most spending time in writing text instead of writing code, right? But I did want to show how it works, how you define tasks, agents, the tools, how you build your own custom tool to do whatever call you want, where you want, how you use the tools available from Langchain, which are a very big library of all the tools possible, the combination of the tools together to use them both. Then I have my agents, and then I have the crew. And here in the crew, I've done something wrong in the sense that I'm giving all the tools to each agent. Should not be the case. If I don't give the tools to these tasks, they will not search on wiki. They will only use the online part, right? The feedback from the previous step. Let me do that. Scripting, writing task. You can search. Let avoid him to search, right? So Any questions, someone? Please.
Not from me. I'm content and happy. Thank you. You educated me.
Yeah, no questions either. I just wanted to say that I think the biggest fail is using a rocket for diving. Why not use a scuba mask? That's what I
Down
take
here.
offense at.
Down
Yeah,
here.
but
Yeah, a rocket to dive? No, man. Scuba mask.
Yeah.
Emoji.
I never said they were creative, right?
Yeah.
I can't only repeat if I ask an LLM to do things in multiple steps and to think before he acts and so on. It's because LLMs are fucking stupid, right? They are
yeah,
just token predictions. They are smart token predictions. I agree, but they are fucking damn stupid. So yeah.
yeah.
Actually, I do have a question.
Yes, shoot.
You run it all locally using Ollama, right?
Yeah, I've connected to ChatGPT in the steps, but the manager
Okay,
here
so
is Ollama. But the manager is Ollama,
okay.
and you can totally run that on Ollama. That's totally not a problem.
So what's the LLM like
This
variable here? That's Ollama.
that's
Yes.
Ollama. It's
Chat
the
Ollama.
only thing.
Okay.
Yeah, I just made a model file, but even there, I added one stop word. But that's part of the things that were not working and annoying me, and it was especially on the tools call, and I was a bit annoyed by that. So I just think, oh yeah, let's use ChatGPT for that part so that it goes for that. And it's mainly because of the context I was integrating, the content I was integrating. So it's probably a context length issue. Because as you see, that thing generates shitload of content, and I think one of my intermediate
Yeah.
calls could not handle that. But I had no time to dig more in depth with that. The presentation was arriving. I had something that worked end to end, and I was like, okay, that's fair enough. Let's present that as a working thing instead of trying to debug it till the last minute and have nothing to show, right?
Amen.
The model is based on Llama 3, I see it. Is it
Yes,
8 billion or 70? 8
8
billion?
billion and Phi 3 is also perfect. Phi 3 is
Nice. Oh,
perfect.
yeah.
Llama is perfect, and I told that a bit earlier for other things, right? But what is good enough? What is good enough? To write the tweet here
Oh,
below
yeah.
this task is, do you need an 8 billion parameter model, or is a Gemma good enough? Or will your phi suffice here, and will the up same? Or
Iluik, Saudan.
and so well at this point I don't know what I was thinking. Yeah, what kind of model, which size of model do you need to do this task? This task doesn't ask a lot of reasoning. It will receive a bunch load of text, and it should just choose a couple of keywords out of it and make a hashtag. And so, I mean, that's not that complicated, right?
Well, hell yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I imagine it's a trial and error process, and if you have like
Yes.
more complicated tasks.
Yeah, and change the agent, make a model file for it, tune to it, especially use another service, whatever. But I just wanted to show the glue between how you can articulate your task and your team to make it work. I just now have run it over again. Just wanted to see at the end steps if I was doing that well.
I have a question
Yes,
that
shoot.
came a bit late. But you are now doing CrewAI. Is it like taking multiple LLMs and let them work together on task?
Yes.
Could they? Do you think they can handle storytelling? Like they will write a story according to someone else's what they want?
Good. You did not come late. You did come at the end. You
Yeah.
did come at the very end. We explained all that.
Yeah,
We have
that's
built
why I'm
together.
asking
I
because
mean,
I haven't been here.
I understand, but that's like the guy arriving at the very last minute. Like, if someone asks questions, can the thing do what you have explained over the last hour? Yes, it can. Yeah. So just to recap, quick. We made a crew to create content for a YouTube channel. And the only thing we gave it in the very beginning, so I'm not going over all that, but the only thing we gave it in the beginning is, dude, I want you to create. So I have a channel that already has topics about AI, machine learning, neural networks, and I want to integrate a new artificial intelligence thing. And then he comes up with, oh, backpropagation is something you should talk about. Then we integrate that one in our new chain. So he's gonna create content for a backpropagation algorithm. Backpropagation algorithms, in that context, he will create an outline of it, and then he will write a full script of it. Then he will create visual assets for it, and then it will create the Twitter post and the LinkedIn post to promote the video. And long story short, but I think the most impressive part in this one, so we gave it tools, we gave it access to Wikipedia, to Arxiv, so it did a lot of things, research, really detailed paragraphs about the interactions, the networks, the links in between, and so on and so on. But the most impressive part is when we ask him to do, and that's what you were you're asking, is the part where we ask him, write us the script about this. And so we have our script writer, which is Sam, and here we have script, understanding propagation in opening scene. A sleek modern studio with a large display, so it describes a little bit the scene, and here, hello AI enthusiasts, welcome back to our channel. Today we are deep diving into the topic of, okay, does that respond to your question?
Yes, exactly.
Yo,
This
yo,
is
Sebastian.
So we went from nothing to do a bit of research. We gave it Wikipedia, we gave it Arxiv for research papers. It made the first series of like bullet points and thing, detailed that 1-2 times. We have one thing that is interesting is the cross-linking stuff. So it was looking in the old topics if there was something in relation with the new topics, build out of a list of connections between that. Then we have asked it up to make not only the outline, first a deeper outline, and then do the cross-linking. What did we speak about earlier? What is now spoken about? And then we ask him, okay, now go ahead with your cross-references and make us a script. And it's basically a screenplay, you know. You got the Sam, the scene, the next scene should be done like this, and so on. Then the next step is visual assets. And so we have a visual designer in our team, and the visual designer says, for the introduction paragraph or intro scene, I would like a visual representation of neural networks. Here a graphic, a timeline graphic. Here an animated graphic. Here a chart, diagram, and so on and so on. So
you moved a word from
yeah,
first one
yeah.
to
That's not a problem.
yeah,
This is the output, and I will basically maybe I save it and I will send it too, so that you guys can read it out. Because I didn't read it completely out on the channel. My English is too chucky for that. But
can
yeah.
you maybe
Nonsense.
share
Your
Apple
English is
repo?
pretty good.
Can you come back with that with a question? And thank you for my English, but
Yo, Sebastian.
Yeah.
I have a
yeah,
question. Sorry.
shoot.
You know the models you're using. You said you're
Yes,
using ChatGPT and the local LLM.
yes.
How many LLMs can you use at once?
As
Like, can
much
you
as you
use?
want. As
Uh,
you can delegate to each agent its own LLM.
can you
I
use
got
the same LLM for all the agents?
yes,
Okay,
yes.
cool.
Here,
Yeah, I was
you
confused
can
about that.
pass. So when
I
you
was lit.
create, oh,
Sorry,
you fell away.
sorry, God.
Oh, no problem. So here, when you create the researcher, and here you have a property LLM. So this can be self.llm, but you could give it Gemma and Llama and why not? And then you choose self.gemma for this guy. Oh, this guy will run on Llama. Or for this guy, I will use a special model file I've created, and this guy another. So yeah, you can give each agent, each persona, uh, and that's a bit like, I would say, the logic repetition, because Ray uses Gemma, Olivia is incarnated by a llama. You know, for each of the roles you can give separate LLMs, and the conversation history is proper to each agent, right? There is only the manager that passes the message from A to Z, from one to the other, right? The agent, there is only the agent that in his context window has received and seen the message from the others. All the others are communicating only with the manager and receiving their info from the manager. But when you call, when this is agent number one, number two, when this guy is involved, he has his history of messages. And when this guy is involved, he doesn't know about the history, the context, nothing is shared. So even though it's the same LLM, it's not the same context and history and window. That makes sense?
Yeah.
It's like you would open two Ollama CLI windows next to each other. The left one and the right one has nothing to do together. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. Other questions? Something?
To the guy asking in the chat about the Luke guy, just check out Langchain, it'll answer all your questions. Sorry, just answering that guy's question in the comments. Continue.
Yeah.
Sorry, Sebastian.
But if questions, no problem. But if they relate now direct to what we are recording and the stream, no problem. To get them, I mean, speak out loud. Otherwise,
It's more about fine tuning and stuff that's not related to CrewAI at all.
Not related to this presentation.
Sebastian, we're coming up on the 2-hour mark.
Okay, I'm
gonna go ahead and kill it here, unless you have anything else you want to cover.
No, I think if nobody else has a big question that would be useful for everyone, we can cut it off, and I will stop the streaming. But we can speak it out. Thank you, Miguel, for recording that.
Yeah.
I just want to ask: are you gonna share your code or?
Sure, I will.
Okay.
But I will remove everything because you guys gonna create channels. You guys gonna create channels over the night. Tomorrow YouTube will have an explosion like, where are these 25 channels about AI coming from? And they all make a first video about backpropagation with a certain Sam. What the fuck?
I just wanna basically, change the input you gave and try
Sure. I will share it.
and learn from it. So
Absolutely, I will share the code and I will send it in, no problem. Maybe one last thing we can check if that worked, and I have a doubt, but so that will be quickly answered. Sorry, but if that's the case, then we have something interesting to show. So that's the agent ops, right? And agent ops shows the processing of my agents. So here you see all the LLM calls that were done from one agent to another. And as you can see, the model is Llama 3. So you see each call being given, and here you got the prompt and you got the completion. You got the prompt to completion, right? Between each of the models.
Yeah, should I repeat? Oh, sorry, time.
But these one, these one are the entire log, right?
Yeah, no, I was just curious to actually just glance over it, but thank you.
But if you go here, when you hover over the elements, you can select the one, and you get the totes, the timing, the tokens, and so also because it's Llama 3, there is no cost, right? But if there was, it will evaluate me the costs and so on. It will give me the number of tokens, the duration of the session, and okay.
I think
I told
that
you
was the perfect ending, though, dude. Like that wraps it up because that's what we needed to see.
Yeah, so this one is in the comment line, and you saw things happening here in the thing. But the end word is to have agent ops or Langsmith working and following your agent step by step. I think the cost is not to underestimate here. It does cost nothing, but if you're really using tokens and so on, even though you don't pay an API, having it minutes crunching your GPU costs electricity, costs time, and so on. So the number of tokens and iterations it needs to finish your task list is also important, right? Even if it's not expressed in dollar. Right?
No, well, I mean,
So that wraps it up. I don't know anyone else. Big L,
Well, I want-
shut it down, man.
Okay.
And I would say,
Yeah,
like,
a question.
everyone, hit that like and subscribe button, and see you in the next one.
I mean,
Thank you for watching.
I think we should